Hi, my name is Carlos, and welcome to a quick essay where we're going to be talking about the genius of Ingmar Bergman. So I have a question. What do you think of when I say the word reaction? A betrayal revealed? Or maybe just a general revelation?
I am the Father.
Directors often tend to use reaction shots to highlight specific moments in the film that are key to the story.
No. It's not true. That's impossible!
And with some of these reactions, they barely add anything to the character that we don't already know. We can already guess at how this character is going to react to the message he receives here, for example, and sometimes we'll only ever get these types of reactions, emotions that we can already infer or know.
Nancy!
This is all in spite of a reaction shot being the ultimate portal to a character's emotions. So it gets me thinking, why aren't all reaction shots treated like diamonds?
Turning over in a grave. They do it every time.
This is where, for me, Ingmar Bergman succeeds the most. Being a filmmaker that focused on the interactions and relationships between people more than anything else, it's only natural that he treated his reaction shots with such respect. Take a look at this shot from his film Winter Light, and notice just how much care goes into the actor's look.
Gud. Varför har du övergivit mig?
What's so brilliant about this shot for me is that you can see the emotion. While its handling is simple, there's a certain air about it that lets the audience know that the pastor is experiencing a complex emotion that can only be translated visually. On top of this, we also get to learn something new about the character's despair.
Gradually, the psychological feelings of the character the actor was portraying just sort of show up on the screen. Finally, you start to see the wars that are raging inside the characters, these psychological wars and emotional wars. And it's no less visual in the end than the movements of armies.
When I first saw this shot in persona, it kind of threw me off because Ingmar Bergman is a dialogue-heavy filmmaker. What many foreign audiences don't notice is the attention to detail Bergman and his actors put into the reactions of the characters because we're often too focused on reading the subtitles to understand the visual. Bergman will also highlight these reactions very differently than most other filmmakers. He'll interrupt the entire mood of a scene just to show what a character is going through. Here, in Fanny and Alexander, Oscar stops yelling with his family for a second to catch his breath. And as opposed to just low-key pointing out his troubles through dialogue, Bergman actively interrupts the scene to point out the character's anguish. He is separated from the family and the music and the noise, making his discomfort more isolated. This is in stark juxtaposition to something like The Godfather, for example. During the wedding, Francis Ford Coppola does cut away to a specific moment to show the discomfort from a character.
That man over there is talking to himself.
But as opposed to being completely isolated, the music is still heard and the character is still somewhat a part of the atmosphere. Nowhere is the discomfort individualized, nor does it feel unique. Granted, Coppola's and Bergman's intentions were probably different for these scenes, and I also don't think one is better than the other, but this just goes to show how different Bergman approaches a character's emotions than from other filmmakers. In order for the audience to receive the correct emotion, individualization needs to be present in the moment. I feel as though filmmakers just need to learn to look for these moments in the screenplay, and while many of them do, many others just take what's on the script and translate it directly onto the screen, resulting in somewhat bland and uninspired shots. You could say that Bergman is so great at this because he only ever wrote his own scripts, providing him with absolute control over every single moment. But there are some filmmakers who take other people's scripts or have a team of writers and manage to pull off these emotions as well. If there's one lesson that I feel could be taken away from Bergman's filmography, is that there are always moments with characters in film that just feel proper to be isolated. In a time when many filmmakers are just concerned about showing off the latest special effects or how badass one particular shot could be, it's only proper to ask, to what extent does this relate to us as a peoples? Whereas with Ingmar Bergman, we get to see exactly what it means to be human in his reactions, understanding each other. Thanks for watching, and thanks for 100 subscribers.